Fuck my family too. Well, my family is going to be the ZSC community. That's my true family. The people that participate in the Zulu social experiment. People that decide to participate in the implementation of a skill-driven and equitable society. This is basically my prayer. I'm gonna talk to motherfuckers and let you guys know what's up and to give you guys some background and bigger. Kancane, bigger. That's what I'm gonna do. Bigger. Let you guys know, and I think I gotta give you guys some background on who I am and why I'm doing this and why I have the terrible task of being that guy. I think a lot of people, you know, a lot of people walk around saying, I've heard from God. God said this is what God did for me. This is what God. So a lot of people in our life, we got to name drop God at some point in time. And I've had the unfortunate um, predicament of having to make that claim um, that I am God. And what made it easier was that there was a man called Isaiah Shembe who claimed that there's a person coming who will sit on the throne of INKOSI YASEKUPHAKAMENI and become God, the Son of Man that becomes King of all creation. So that's the idea of God. So don't trip. Those who have an idea of God, it's a very different idea of who God is. God is, to a lot of people, some guy in the sky, omnipresent, omniscient, omni what, omni what. So it's a big challenge. And I think the reason why I had to make this claim is because I am convinced that I am the guy that's gonna implement a new society that is free of miseries of life, free of the miseries of life. So essentially, the idea of a heaven on earth. And the reason why I was compelled to make this claim is that I do see a way out, guys. I do see a way that we can live forever. We can escape mortality. That's my honest truth. So the tragedy about life is that you can't be if you're afraid to speak your truth. And the truth of the matter is, I actually believe that there is a way that we can escape mortality. As this generation, we are the generation that's going to escape mortality. And when we do this, we become this generation that is said to inherit creation. So we, the guys that inherit creation. It's impossible to inherit creation if you're not there to enjoy it. So if you die, you can't inherit creation. That's why when we die, we leave life cover policies, we leave stuff to the people that come after us. But now I'm saying that we, the generation that will inherit creation, and there's a way out. So somebody might ask me, what's your academic background and what do you know about medicine, or why are you telling me all these professors and these medical students and all these medical professionals, how come they're not doing it? What makes you think that you're able to do it? And this is what I'm gonna say, is that if you're an inventor and if you're an inventive mind, and if it always comes down to the principle. So if we actually intentionally take on the exercise, I know we can do it. I think the reason why we don't do it is because we are playing a different game. I'll give you an example. The pharmaceutical industry is playing a game where they're trying to profit from illness rather than eliminate illness. For example, that's a typical example. So there's no ways we're gonna raise the dead. No ways we're gonna think that far if we try to profit from illness. Case in point, anybody that lived through the COVID era, and that's what's a perfect case in point for me to say there were those that intended to profit from the illness rather than really deal with the issue. So this is my opinion, and I have that unfortunate thing where I was compelled to say that I am the God that is described by the Bible, not the Quran, definitely not the Quran. Maybe by the Bhagavad Gita, the Krishna conscious people could understand, because um, they understand the ninth incarnation of God is Krishna. So what I'll be saying to them is that I am the reincarnation of Krishna. So that would be my claim to the Krishna conscious and the Hindu society. And the purpose of the reincarnation is the fact that I remain. I intend to remain here, stay here with this generation, because you are the prize. And I think this is the tragedy about life, is that I'm not making the claim because I want to exalt myself over my community. I'm making the claim because I'm saying that you are the prize, that you are the prize. Spending an eternity with this generation would be heaven on earth. So the reason why I had to make this claim was because at some point in 2018, I realized who I was. And I realized the actual, when you get to a principle, you actually realize the ability to actually, dude, we're going to do this. We're actually going to raise the dead. We're actually going to be able to do that. I can see how. And because I started making that claim that we're going to raise the dead, people started pushing back and saying, no, you can't do that. Only God can do that. Because I started making the claim that we can implement the kingdom of heaven on earth. No, you can't do that. Only God can do that. And I got to point this out to the Christian community to say, let's not be hypocrites. You guys use the statement a lot to say, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And, the profession of any Christian is that when they accept Christ, Christ is in them. Most Christians, at least. So what I'm saying to you now is essentially what Christ wants now is say, hey, it's our time. Let us escape mortality, and this is the objective. So this is the reason why I make the claim that I am God. I can quickly, the day I die, I will accept that I'm not the guy. The day that um, the day that um, yeah, so the day that I die and I don't achieve the objective of being able to escape mortality is the day I will accept, okay. But I think the fundamental lesson of the social experiment is that we should be in expectation of a man that is capable of such a thing. And I think that's my brutal exercise, and that's my curse and my burden to carry, that I have to be the guy to say, guys, no, there's somebody that must be capable of escaping mortality. If it's not our generation, it's definitely a generation coming after us. So I've made my claims, and I want to go back to the cues. So my request to you guys is that I said I've built the systems, and I've built this experiment, and I'm saying participate in this experiment so that we can put my hypothesis to the test. It's worth it. I mean, I'm not asking anything more than being able to listen to information, fill in forms and say, oh, this is what I think, this is what I feel, and actually make a contribution. That's all I'm asking from the community. And then when the time is right, when we've put up the systems for the economical part of the social experiment, actually genuinely participate in the social experiment. So what I'm saying is I'm asking you guys to learn about, um, how we can implement the society. So this is my request to the ZSC community and anybody that participates in the Zulu social experiment. So let me just go to the note and say, essentially, this is what I've been saying. For you to get a bit of background on my process, is that why I had to say that I am God is because I was accused of being a man and you are not capable of such things. You are a man, you are limited. And I'm saying, no, actually, we can achieve immortality. And this is why I've had to make that claim. So these claims are made of attached to the community. You'll find the links. Life's work test results basically outlines the proof that I put down and say, guys, I am that guy, dude. I am that guy. And this is how we're going to do it. Now, fast forward 6 years later into the future, I actually now create the implement of how to get to a heaven on earth. So how to get to heaven on earth manual. So that's essentially what I call it, the motherfucking Bible, because that's what the Bible is, right? So let me do the declaration with you guys and say what's up, you know. The gang, the seat warmers, the shadow, the witnesses, and the most honorable witness is I, Shembe, the all-powerful custodian of the regulator of life, the Bantu priesthood. Sit at the right hand of the founder of life, INKOSI YASEKUPHAKAMENI, until his enemies are the dust beneath his feet. And this is where I gotta sing this song. It's the original gangster dog, dog. Pagame. It's the original gangster dog, dog. Aye. It's the original gangster dog, dog. So the original gangster dog is the one, you know, when they say life's a bitch. You know, when they say life's a bitch. The original gangster dog is the guy that's actually gonna fuck the bitch. You know what I'm saying? And straighten this bitch out. You know, the original gangster dog. And he's not gonna do it by polite means. He's gonna do it by seemingly blasphemous means. And this has always been the anticipation in terms of even the biblical account of who this coming Son of Man is, the Messiah, the Christ. You know, it's always been like, you know, so the original gangster dog and the claim that was made and the guy that anticipated me coming is a man called Isaiah Shembe. And he says this person is gonna go by the name of the King of the Heavens, the King of the motherfucking Zulu, INKOSI YASEKUPHAKAMENI. So that's who the original gangster dog is. So I'm gonna, you know, make a request. I'll let you guys know what's up. Let me make my request. It's the original gangster dog, dog. Let me make my request. I've told the motherfuckers in the community this is what's up. And you guys are the ones that put me through this process where I come to the realization that I have to be the nigga, the original gangster dog, and INKOSI YASEKUPHAKAMENI. I appreciate you guys for that. I'm letting you guys know. I wouldn't choose any other battle to fight. I feel like Harry Stamper in the moment of the Armageddon movie when somebody has to stay behind and detonate the bomb that's going to save humanity. I feel like that guy. I'm privileged to be in the position, and I appreciate you guys for making a way for me to be able to even say these things and actually creating a scenario, a situation where it is actually possible to achieve the things that are being said. So I want to appreciate you motherfuckers for that. And this is the gang, the regulator of life, and the chief custodian is I, Shembe. So I'm appreciating you for that. I want to make the request now. So let me just point it out to you guys. This is a hypothesis, really. The hypothesis is that the founder of the ZSC, the Zulu Social Experiment, is the founder of life. The community, the ZSC community, are the actual original creators of life. So my job is essentially I'm just the guy who really came up with the idea and said, hey guys, we can create life here. And the generation that's alive with me now are the ones that actually did it. That the guys that actually did it. So it's the hypothesis of the Zulu Social Experiment that you are the creator of life itself. You had a part to play in the creation process. And this process of the Zulu Social Experiment is allowing you to kind of realize specifically what your role was. And how you would know is that it's what you'd see it through what you're doing now. How I know I'm the founder of life is I see it through what I'm doing now. I am the guy that's saying, guys, we are gods. Let's be gods. Let's inherit creation. This is our shit. This is how I know. And there's several other things I conceived. You'll find it in the Life's Work test. I conceived the black magic principle, SIPO, the creation principle. So that's why I'm making this hypothesis. The gang, you guys know, you guys are my witnesses. So what I'm saying now is that to the communities that if they participate in this thought experiment and this commercial implement of the Zulu social experiment, if we achieve this objectives of sustainable life, which is escaping mortality and creating a society that's free from misery, then we are the promised generation of the true creators of life. If we don't achieve this within, and this is what I want to say, the whole experiment is we're meant to do, the first phase of the experiment, sustainable life, is meant to last. We're meant to apply 8 million years, no, not 8 million, 8 million hours 8 million hours of human attention towards the objective. And by the end of the 8.7 million hours of human attention, we should be able to have achieved the objectives of sustainable life. So what I'm asking the gang, like, to be honest with you guys, like, fuck, man, you know, hook a nigga up with motherfuckers that fuck with this, you know, that can help put in the 8.7 million hours so we can actually achieve the objectives of the social experiment. So what I'm asking is that let's have the actual experiment. Let it not be like a concept that just, he said some shit and people like, fuck this nigga, you know. So I'm saying that either way, to the ZSC community and those who are thinking about being part of the community, it's really about testing whether we are the creators of life. And I'm saying that we are. And if we apply the systems that have been created, we will achieve the objectives of a society that is basically a heaven on earth, a paradise on earth, and will escape mortality. Those are the major milestones. And in the other benefits, we won't have a natural resource constraint. We'll have instant access to all the value that's created by humanity. You know, instant access to knowledge as well. So these are the things that will come out. So what I'm saying is that what I'm requesting from the gang and the regulator, life, let this experiment happen. And I think, to be honest with you, we need about 380 people applying less than 6 hours a day for 3.5 years to achieve this objective. You know, so I'm saying to the gang, don't deny me the privilege of actually putting this to the test. Because even if I'm wrong, the objective, even if we are not we're not that generation, or maybe at the end of this phase of the experiment, at the end of the 8.7 million hours, or the end of the 3.5 years, and we don't achieve the objectives, even at that point, it is still great because we would have created a facility or a sport that humanity can play until we eventually get it right. So there will be that custodian, there will be that generation that will come along and actually do it. So it doesn't have to be me, but I'm saying it has to be somebody, and it has to be a specific generation. The claim is that I made is that it has to be me in this generation. That's what I'm saying. So let's make way for the two outcomes of the social experiment is that um, if I am not the founder of life and we are not the creators of life, we are making way for the founder of life and the creator of life. And that's what we need to do. So we shouldn't shy away from it, guys. That's what I'm saying. All right. So this is to the ZSC community, my real family. Fuck my family too.